My rooftop tent is perfect for adventures in the wilderness, but try popping that thing open in a Walmart parking lot or a city street. It doesn't go too well. And that's a huge problem when you're traveling long distances like across BC and just need a quick, free place to have a rest. So that's why I decided to turn the inside of my Subaru Forester into a stealth camper, building a sleeping platform that integrates perfectly with my existing budget camp kitchen and fits an IKEA mattress.
And if you've been following my off-road and overland Subaru Forester build for the last couple of years, you know I built this camp kitchen, well, simply, very effectively. We have our stove, a cutting board, and even a kitchen sink, and in the summer, water running from it. But right now, it is just a kitchen. And if I wanted to sleep in the Forester, let's say we were in a city or somewhere where I didn't feel comfortable putting up the rooftop tent, I can't. I literally have no room. The rear seats have been removed, and there is no place for me to physically sleep. With this going halfway down the cab of the car, we can't really sleep anywhere in here. But that's all gonna change. Today's goal is to figure out how we can utilize this space, preferably this platform here, to go ahead and make a full platform bed so I can go ahead and stretch out and sleep inside the Forester. And much like my camp kitchen here, we're gonna stick to the same sort of theme as before and build it on a budget. As you guys know, I use scraps for this that were sitting around in the garage, including plywood, some 2x4s, and well, this rug. And we'll be doing the same thing by using some more scrap plywood I've got laying around, as well as some fabric I found cheaply on Amazon and some 2x4s. And finally, a mattress that, well, it's probably the most expensive part of this build. It's actually pretty clever, and I'll be showing you guys that in a little bit. So let's get to planning this out. So here in the Forester, as I said, we got this camp kitchen here, and this is where I'm going to be building the platform. Well, hopefully, all the way from over here to this seat. This seat should give me exactly enough space for that mattress I talked about, well, allowing me to theoretically stretch fully out. If you're a little bit taller, unfortunately, this isn't going to work. These older Subarus are quite small, but I think it adds the coziness. And well, as you guys know, this car for me is a perfect vehicle for adventures, and I think this is just going to be the icing on the cake. So to tackle that, we have a few things. The first thing is, well, figuring out this platform here. And what I want to do is I want to get this platform as low as possible to the car. So we have our strut tower here. This is going to be a problem. We can't bring it all the way down to this strut tower because that will prevent us from, well, fitting the fridge on this other side here. So we do have some limitations. What I'm going to try to do is get this platform on top this strut tower here so that we can utilize as much space as effectively as possible. That means I'm actually going to be removing this top piece of my camp kitchen here and replacing it with a longer platform. Then obviously we're going to have to build some supports here. But the first thing is just to get this platform. So we're going to go ahead, undo my tie downs, undo the top here, and see how much room that really gives us. And then bring this board in and see, I think we're going to have to do some trimming up there. Now with all the screws off of here, we should be able to pop this guy off. And hopefully it doesn't collapse. No, we should be good. And now that we can see what's going on here, we can kind of make a plan. As you can tell, we got a little cubby here. I don't want to lose that because that is pretty helpful. And it's actually going to be lower than our strut tower here. So we got about 1 inch, 2 inches, and you can see that it's not level at all. So we're going to have to try to line this all up. We're going to probably be left with putting a runner of wood along here that'll allow us to, well, support the platform. That's going to go from here to here. But I do think I need to add a little more strengthening on this one first. And with it supported a little bit more, I'm probably going to have to drag some more screws on this side. We can go ahead and take, well, our scrap plywood. You might notice this logo on here, but we're using the packaging to essentially build out our Forester. This should be the same size as the mattress. So it's going to give us a good impression of if this is even going to work in the first place. Okay. Well, we ran into a couple issues. And with it pushed up against our driver's seat there, we do notice one issue right here where it's catching. I'm also noticing I'm going to have no access over here. So we're going to have to figure that one out as well. Maybe we'll do a door, Or maybe we just won't put stuff that we can't reach through here, because there's a few things I have, mostly propane bottles, that I could relocate. We got molly racks now. Maybe I put a big propane tank on there or something. But we do have a semi-working idea. That said, it's going to take a little bit of work to make this work. So what I'm going to do is I'm first going to tackle this guy, cut this, trim this down until we get it sitting a little bit better, a little more easy to work with. And then we can go ahead. We're going to have to put some supports in, run some supports across, and then figure out the rest of it. And who knew? Doing a little bit of CAD made it fit pretty much perfectly. I do have one concern. It flexes a lot more than our 1/4 inch aluminum. That said, I can put lots of support in it. We have multiple different pieces of plywood and 2x4s that we could put in here. So I'm not too worried about strengthening it. We have to do that at the front anyways, but that's the way it's sitting. I am concerned about, well, we got it to fit, but I'm actually not sure if it will close because our door might hit on this little corner here and we might have to go ahead and trim that. So let's try it. Nope, it is hitting right there, so we got to trim that down a little bit. And after some fun little cuts with the jigsaw there, we have this cut out pretty much perfectly. We kind of have to go around here because the hatch actually kind of closes on this part. So we just went around there and then lined up with our cabinet. That means we can go ahead and work on the front and getting everything kind of straightened out. Now, because we're working with such slim margins, this is actually hitting right on the seat, which maybe is a good thing, maybe is a bad thing. We'll have to figure that out a little bit later. But what we got to do is we got to all straighten this. So we're going to get some, I think we're going to be using 2x3s actually, because I have some, and that's all I really need. And we're going to be doing them on each of the sides here. And then we're going to be doing one in the middle here, and then probably one in the middle here, and then one up there. So we have 4 different ones to kind of keep it all together. And then we can see how level and straight we can get this board. And check that out, we have our platform. Well, a little wobbly, it's all boxed in. I put one piece to support it down the middle, which means we got to figure out our runners down below. So what I'm going to do is the back of it's level. So I'm going to take my level right here. We're going to go ahead and level it out. So like right there, and then do the same on the cross. And what we'll do is we'll go straight down into the floor well. It should be perfectly in this corner right here. And we'll go ahead and just put one in there for now. Eventually, what I actually think I want to do is I want to build a shelf that goes straight across here. And that would support, well, the supports as well as a little bit of storage. And check that out. Our prototype is done. Why I say it's a prototype is now, well, what after we test it, we're going to have to strip this down, and then we're going to be wrapping this in carpet. I chose black this time because, well, a lot of my above the carpet is black, and ultimately I would like the whole car to be blacked out. So we're going to go with black carpet this time, and I'll show you that in a minute, but we got to tear this down. Although, before we do that, I do want to make sure this can hold me, and it's not really going to be really awkward to get in or really awkward to lay in. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a blanket over this and then hop in here and see how well it works. What I was saying there was I definitely didn't think that I would be able to put my head first that way and sleep on my side because it would be too tall. I can. There is actually enough room if I wanted to do that. That said, I think I'm going to be facing the other way just because it's easier to see out the windows, and well, there's not much going on there, and then I have more headroom here. So let's try it this way. This might actually be harder to get in and out, so maybe actually the other way is the best way. Would you look at that? There's not even any creaking. So we've definitely built it. As you can tell, I'm like maxed out this. My head is at the headrest, and well, when you see the mattress, you'll see why. But we do have a working sleeping platform. Look at that. And it's not even cracking. There's actually, like, I slept in worse places before, for sure. I have enough room that I can definitely roll on my side. That net might get a little bit annoying if I was sleeping the other way, but this way I can like see my car and everything and see all the way out in front of us. So now the fun part is, well, not disassembling it yet. I'm going to take the old piece of wood from the top of my cabinet and I'm going to put it down here as a little bit of a shelf so we have more storage space. We reused our top of the cabinet over there as a little bit of a support because it will tie these two legs together as we have this bar that goes across here. And well, tons of storage. So now we have this whole place right here, which would be good for camera cases or a bunch of other stuff, clothing. And then we have storage down here. So we've made a much more effective way to store everything as well. That said, we got our prototype all done, which means we get to go ahead and take it all apart. And we're going to go ahead and start wrapping it with fabric. And what fabric are we using? Well, we're using essentially what is like upholstery or speaker box fabric. So we use something very similar down here. This was for marines. And while this is, again, marine grade kind of speaker fabric, and we're going to be using black this time because I want everything above it, as I said, to be on the black fabric instead of the gray. So the gray blends in down below, black up top. But what we got to do is essentially wrap it. So we're going to go cover it with this, and then we're going to use a staple gun and just staple around it. I'm not going to wrap the whole underside like I did on this because I wrapped every piece 360 degrees. It doesn't make a lot of sense for a lot of this. So we're just going to be wrapping like the top side and all the panels and stuff to give us that nice clean look while making it a lot nicer touch than wood. Now for laying the fabric on, well, our base plate here, as I said, we don't want to wrap the whole thing, both front and back, or top and bottom. There's no real point, especially on the bottom where it's going to be covered up. But we do want to have a little bit of an edge. So what I'm going to do is probably just do about like an inch inwards. And it's really easy. So we're going to go ahead, do this. We'll fold an edge down, grab our stapler, staple, staple, staple. I like to do a staple like every 6 inch, or not even every 6 inches, every 2 inches, because these, they're cheap, right? So it's not a huge deal to kind of staple through them. And then we'll get it all kind of laid out here, stretch it. There is some creases. I'm not too worried about creases. It's going to get dirty in the car, but it's way better than trying to lay on plain wood, and it looks a lot better too. So I'll go ahead, lay this down, and then what we're actually going to do is we're going to take all of our pieces here. I need to clean up some of the edges. And we're going to go wrap these in some black fabric. That's probably going to be wrapped all the way around because it's just easy. Just keep our faceplate nice and clean and then wrap it on the backside. Staple, staple, staple. Bolt it back together or screw it back together. And then we should be able to go ahead and reinstall it and finalize our install. And with this main platform done and reinforced with a couple more reinforcements, we can go ahead and we'll take it and throw it back in the car. And with the platform back in here, I think we should probably work on getting the legs covered and bolted up before we go ahead and do the mounting back onto the cabinet. With that last screw in, we have a nice beefy shelf here. I actually screwed it into the foam on the back too. So there's no way this is going to ever slide forwards. And I put 2 screws here, 2 screws here. So this thing is in there solid. That means all we got left is to go ahead and we'll put the last screws in on the top of the cabinet, and then we have our platform all done. And with the platform tightened down and definitely not moving, let's talk about the last piece of the puzzle here, the mattress. You guys are probably wondering, because I teased it a couple of times and I was talking about a budget mattress. This doesn't look like a budget mattress. Well, let me tell you, if you go to IKEA and get the youth mattress, it's like $60, and it's a 4-inch foam mattress that's got the kind of egg frame style or egg carton style mat on the top, and then it's got high density foam in the bottom. It's like $60, and if you're, I believe, probably under like 5'11", no, 5'9", sorry. then this will work for you because it's essentially made for youth. If you curl up like me and you're not completely straight legged, you can fit if you're even just slightly under 6 feet, but it is a little bit tight. That said, it's a perfect dimensions actually for sliding right onto a platform. And that's why this platform had to be a specific length, because it would go right to the seat and right to the door. It couldn't be any more perfect, but check it out. We have our mattress now in a Forester. We're gonna jump in, see how comfy it is, and see how it really feels. The mattress definitely makes it a bit tighter when compared to just having the platform, but if you're sleeping in the car, I don't want to be sleeping on just this platform. I want to have a nice comfy bed, and well, honestly, this is exactly it. One other cool thing is I have a seat right here up against my fridge. I've got a place to put my feet and kind of reach into here if I wanted to. So I might actually eventually build a little bit of a platform down here where the seat used to be, so I have a little bit better of a footrest than, well, the floor of the car. But let's see exactly how to get into this. So there's a couple different things. I think my head should be facing this way because it's going to give me a better view, and it's going to be, as I said, tight facing that way. So we're going to have to do that. Still got my pen here. We'll go ahead, throw my hat on the ground for now. It is extremely dirty. And then what I think the best way to do is just to lay on my side here and sneak over. So it's definitely a little bit tight for sure. But as I said, if I sleep on my side here, I can actually just rest up against the window here, and I just have enough shoulder room. This is the big thing. If I stretch out my shoulders, I just have enough. I literally got like 2 inches here. So this is very close, and it's lower in the back a little bit. So that's why I said I don't think I could have my head facing the other way, which is fine. I can see the car. I can see everything going on. But this isn't supposed to be like the most optimal sleeping, right? This is for when we have to stealth camp in certain situations where the rooftop tent isn't going to be the best idea, especially in a city or something. It's just always weird putting it up. So this will give us the comfort and security and the possibility to explore many more places where we have the capabilities to now stealth camp. So I'm going to definitely have to try this out and see how it works. So look out for that video soon. And with that being said, we finally have a stealth camping setup in our Subaru Forester. And well, definitely for a budget. I think we're probably looking at around $200 or less in materials for all this. The mattress, as I said, was $60. I think the most expensive other piece was the fabric for covering everything up. But if you got a blanket or sheet, you can even use that and knock your cost down even more. The wood was probably $30, if not less, to go and finish that whole thing. So I'm really excited to put this to the use. So let me know what you want to see me do with our stealth camping setup. I have a few ideas, but I want to hear what you guys want me to do with our setup here in the Forester. And let me know what other adventures you want to see, because we have plenty planned. I'm still waiting on some snow. Crossing my fingers we'll get some snow and go get stuck this winter, but you just never know. And with that being said, while you're down there, don't forget to go ahead and check out, well, Flat for Off-Road for all your adventure Subaru needs, as well as the channel memberships for some exclusive perks and behind the scenes content. And I'll be seeing all of you on the next adventure.